Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to Giving 121%. I'm your host, Bryon Ellington, and joining me today is the amazing Stephen Karbelk with the RealMarkets team out of Loudoun County in Ashburn, Virginia, with Century 21 New Millennium. Stephen, thanks so much for being on the show. We're really looking forward to chatting with you.
Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to this.
So tell me something unique about yourself that nobody knows.
Well, I got my dog from a listing presentation. It's one thing that people don't know about me. I went out to meet a lady that was selling her winery, and she had 4 dogs. And my wife was with me, and we were walking around, and we were commenting how we really wanted to get a dog. And she said, "Well, here, take one." So we ended up getting a Catan de Tolier. His name is Picasso, and he's awesome, and we're so happy to have him. And it's the only time I've gone on a listing presentation and came back with a dog.
So tell me about your business. How many units there in 2019, and what's your goal for 2020?
So we only did 46 units last year and totaled about 44 million in sales.
Wow.
So we had a very high average, sales price. And we had a best year ever last year, number 5 in the country, number 1 in the state, number 10 global. So it was an exceptional year for us. I have 6 agents on the team, and we have a mix of residential and commercial real estate that we sell. And it's about half and half, about 20 million residential, 20 million commercial.
And with the 6 agents that you have on your team, first off, any admin supporting that?
We have a marketing coordinator that works remotely. She's actually my daughter, and she's been working for me for 3 years and just graduated from college with a degree in media communications. And she's fantastic and has been doing our marketing and has actually our team has just gone from number 75 to number 5, with her helping with the marketing.
It occurs to me, so you've got such a kind of spectrum from short sales and REOs to commercial to traditional residential. How are you fueling all those agents? Who's doing the lead generation? Is it purely you? Are they doing some as well, prospecting, things like that?
So our bankruptcy and legal sale business comes from very established relationships that I have for many, many years. And so a significant amount of our bankruptcy business just comes from a handful of attorneys that I've worked with for 10 years or more. And so we're very fortunate that we just simply get the business on a flow basis. It just every week, new transactions. And so we would just work through those. So we're not doing the traditional lead generation that other agents do.
Right.
And that's been a big part of how I've run my business, is to focus on having repeat clients that you don't have to compete for the business. You have to earn the business every time. You're only as good as your last deal, but you're not having to prepare a proposal and do a 25-page BPO and, spending time doing that type of work.
And you said you've had these relationships for a while. If I were going to replicate that, how would I go about getting into these kinds of relationships?
There's a variety of things. First is you have to become an expert in the business type. Like I truly consider myself an expert in bankruptcy sales and in short sales, and then within bankruptcy, being an expert in doing Chapter 7 and Chapter 11 sales is just very complicated, and you have to learn it, and so you can become part of that process. And I find a lot of agents, they think it's really kind of, oh wow, I want to do that type of work. But when they realize just how complicated it is, then they don't always dig in.
And you said that you do about half of your production, about 20 mil or so, out of the residential side. How much of that is this type of business? What percentage of your overall residential production is that?
About 90%.
Wow. Okay.
Is this type of business, and then on the commercial side, maybe about 15-20%. Is bankruptcy.
Now, is that 90% of the listings or 90% of the overall?
Listings. We are
Okay.
very heavy on listings.
Okay.
And so that's been just where my passion's always been. I like listings, and that's what we've done. So, but the other piece of it is that in the bankruptcy world, it's very negative, and a lot of agents don't like it. We're dealing with people that are generally in the worst time of their life.
Hmm.
They're bankrupt. They've lost their job, maybe a death of a spouse, maybe a medical problem, something really bad has happened. And there are so many agents that they like to do real estate where everyone's, oh, kumbaya, what's my closing gift going to be? And everyone's happy. And in our situation, sometimes we're dealing with people that are not happy. And they're not unhappy with us. We didn't cause the problem. They're just in very difficult circumstance. And so our job is not only to do what the court requires us, but also as a Century 21 agent to just treat them with respect and help them transition over to their next property.
On the commercial side of things, how did you get into that piece of the business? Was that you getting in that, or was that you getting into relationships with an agent who joined your team who had that? How did that happen?
In a prior life, I was a real estate auctioneer, and I still do some real estate auctions. I'm a licensed auctioneer in several states, but a big part of my business was being a real estate auctioneer. And I started doing commercial real estate auctions. And there was one company, just a fantastic sales story. One company that was called Creamy May, and they're what was called a CMBS special servicer, meaning they would manage loans and commercial mortgage-backed securities. And I knew they had a lot of troubled properties, and they were over in Rockville, Maryland. And one day, I kept trying to reach out to this one individual that was the director, and I finally was able to get an appointment with him. And I thought I was just going over to just meet with him, say hi, introduce myself, maybe pick up a listing or two. And it ended up that they escorted me into the boardroom. I sat down in the boardroom, and in walked like 10, 12 people, all executive team, peppering me with question after question after question about commercial real estate auctions. And I ended up getting 5 commercial properties to sell, like a hotel, shopping center, office building around the country. And after that, I sold close to 70, 80 different properties all around the country, all commercial real estate every month.
How do you keep all of that going? What's the coordination effort among all those different types of streams? Is there some sort of system that you're using to do that?
Yeah, so our entire team operates remotely because we cover such a large geographic area. And we get together once a month. And I also have a team conference call every morning with my bankruptcy team. Every morning at 8:45, our team scrum call just to touch base of every deal. And that's been very, very helpful.
And with those folks, you said you're kind of moving toward them doing more lead generation. What form does that take? Is that prospecting? Is that door knocking, open houses, all of the above?
The other thing that we're doing on the lead generation and was a significant uh, message in Los Angeles was the creation of videos. And not just blogging, not just putting out a listing, but creating videos so that the consumer can watch you, listen to you, and feel like they know you. So when they call you, it's already a deeper relationship than just a name and a number. And so that's something that our marketing coordinator, Samantha, is working on. We're already creating our own videos. We haven't launched any yet. We hope to do that over the next week or two. And in fact, that's something that we're going to take advantage of this sort of downtime that we're expecting over the next couple of weeks is to just create as many videos as possible and then roll them out over the next 3 to 5 months.
Now, when you say create videos, are you talking about this kind of like this type of video where, it's Boomtown-esque, let's say, or are we talking about like produced videos? What kind of videos are you talking about?
It's going to be videos where it's the agent talking for 60 to 120 seconds, maybe up to 3 minutes about some topic. Three things to know about a short sale, three things to know about a bankruptcy sale, three things to know about, refinancing your home, whatever it may be. And then, pushing that out and promoting it and using one of the systems where you can have lead capture and be able to use that in order to generate leads that way.
When you think about uniquenesses for your business, certainly we've talked about a few. Are there other uniquenesses about your business that you think you'd want to share with others?
My uniqueness is I do legal sales. That's been my, unique path. But I've also always believed that every agent needs to have three vertical markets that they operate in. That you can't just rely on one vertical market, because one day your world's going to change and it has nothing to do with you. It just happens to you, like what's happening now in the marketplace. And if you're only invested in one type of sale type, you're going to be in trouble. And so, for me, the legal sale business has been an important one, but also just the regular commercial business, working for just good old-fashioned investors that buy and sell commercial real estate, is just another way where if my bankruptcy business goes down, then the commercial real estate investment business goes up, and then the other way around. So it's sort of counter-cyclical. So either way, there's money you can make and make a living. I also offer auction services. So we're able to list a property for sale and have it scheduled for auction from time to time. And so let's say the auction's in 6 weeks, but it's also listed for sale. So we can either pre-sell the property or sell the property at the auction. And it becomes a unique service that we can offer our clients, which allows me to get the phone call and have the opportunity to bid on the deal. Then, at least I was invited to the table. And I like to think most of the time I win the business.
Next step for you in your business. What's the next thing that you want to do in your business? You talked about video. Anything else you're looking to add?
So the next thing in my business that I want to focus on is to not do marketing just for the sake of marketing. There are so many websites, so many places to put listings, so many places to promote yourself, that you feel like you're putting yourself really out there, but you're not getting a real return on that investment. And even if it's just an investment of your time or someone else's time on your team, you still need to know, am I getting leads? Am I getting hits on this? Is this really turning into dollars?
What's the next thing you want to stop doing in your business?
I need to spend less time doing $15 an hour work just because I can do it, and more time doing the high level work. And so I mentioned earlier about hiring a transaction coordinator and trying to get some of the more routine real estate work pushed off onto someone else.
All right. Well, Stephen, thank you so much for sharing that with us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. I really enjoyed the conversation, and I hope that any of the agents watching this will be able to take away some of my experience to help transform their business and give 121% like I try to every day.
That's awesome. And for you tuning in at home, thanks so much for being here with us. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.